Hey guys, Phoenix Ace here, and today I'm all by myself again because unfortunately my friends have fucking lives. So unfortunately I'm gonna be here by myself today, and so the only thing I could think of to do, because this is one of the only things that I know full stop, is a Pokemon game tier list. So yeah, that's what we're doing today, is that we're doing a Pokemon game tier list. So yeah, let's just get right into it. And for some reason, the green version's just in Japanese, but yeah, it's the old, super old games, honestly, and super good. Both of these games are really good, isn't there? No, yeah, there it is. So I was like, where the hell is it? So there's red version, blue version, green version, which I'm pretty sure green version isn't any different than these three. I might be wrong. I'm unfamiliar with this version of it. But really, just solid games for their time, too. Solid games, amazing games for their time, and I still think they relatively hold up for what they are, even to this day. The start of the Pokemon series, and you can't go wrong with it. That and also Yellow version. I think that one's even better than them. Just perfect, just what Red's journey was, basically. Just starting with a Pikachu, just copying Ash from the anime. Unless this came first, I forget. I'll research that later, but I don't remember if the game came first or if the anime came first. I think the anime came first, but I might be wrong when it comes to Yellow version. Alright, and that's all of Gen 1. So, yeah. These ones, very fucking solid, too. Of course, the middle game being the best. I have not played these games, but I've seen other people play them, and they look really good. They still hold up. I don't think, besides a couple, you know who they are. Really, just actually, you know what? Hold on, let me put these down a lot, because I'm just gonna have so much shit in A tier in S tier if I fucking don't have too much. But yeah, really good games hold up for how old? Like, what are these? Like 30 years old? Really good games, honestly. Alright. And that's all there is to really say about them. Alright. Ruby version, Sapphire version, and Emerald version. All really good games. Love Team Magma, love Team Aqua, love Groudon, love Kyogre, and of course, love Rayquaza. Man, looking at this really makes me miss the days of like, oh, the third copy of the game was basically the accumulation of everything good that the games had before it. Third gen is like where a lot of people started. I did not personally start in this gen, but I know a lot of people that did, and they have said some good shit about this game, and I've also seen a lot of people play this game, and it's a really good looking game, that's all I'm gonna say, and I can't wait to play it myself one day. Unfortunately, I'm too busy playing Monster Hunter 3U. Alright, Fire Red, Leaf Green. Also really good games. Improvements upon they're the first remakes of the games of Red and Blue. Well, Leaf Green specifically. And they just basically they're just accumulation of everything good Gen 3 did and what Gen 1 was. Really fucking good. Really fucking good all around. Alright. Diamond, Pearl, and then Platinum is going to be one of my all-time favorites. Gen 4 probably is easily my second favorite region. And it also has some of my favorite Pokemon, like Infernape, Gliscor, all of them. All of those Pokemon are peak. And I love Giratina, and I love Heatran. Oh my god. The biggest downside and problem I have with these games is, one, they were super slow when it came to health. There's a video going around about like a Heracross using close combat on a Chansey, and that shit takes, I think, a total of 2 minutes to go down. Not good. Not good at all. But, and then Platinum is just once again an just a combination of fucking everything that made the 4th gen great. Better story too with Giratina apparently. There was a jump scare in a Pokemon game. How do you manage that? How do you manage to do that? Great game all around. Alright, this is going to be my personal hot take here, but I'm not the biggest fan. These are still good games, don't get me wrong. Playing through Johto is still pretty fun, But once you get to Kanto, I have not beaten this games in Kanto, because honestly, I found Kanto to be extremely boring. I just personally didn't like it. Johto was fun, but I personally did not like Kanto. It just felt like a gauntlet. That's all it felt like to me, of like, oh, there's like 30 trainers on every single route. It was just, it's a good game, don't get me wrong. Johto's great. I loved getting the red Gyarados. All of that's super fun. But personally, to me, the second half of the post game, besides being able to challenge red and the gym leaders, was kind of just a slog to get through. Didn't really have too much fun with it. And now here comes maybe, no, this is where it's gonna say. And these are just my peak games right here. All these are my all-time favorites. Specifically these two. Where are you? I know I saw you around here, you dumb bitch. These ones very specifically are probably just, all of Gen 5 is just peak to me. Black version is where I started this entire series, and I loved it. Absolutely peak games. My first ever Pokemon was Snivy, that I named a Leaf Bug, because I was a dumb idiot like 12-year-old and did not understand what the fuck Snivy was. I thought he was just a leaf bug. But yeah, funny enough, I eventually went back and changed his name back to Superior, because weird thing about me, I'm not really one to truly like changing and giving my Pokemon special names. I like the names that the Pokemon actually have. I'd love it. Just, yeah, there's not really much to say besides I love these games. They had a difficulty section. There was so much to do. Biased because I'm American. No, I don't care about it being set in New York. But just Unova is just where it all started for me. And even going back, like, without my nostalgia goggles, I still really think these games were solid. And I cannot wait for them to ever do something like Legends Kyurem, where we get to see the original dragon. That is going to be absolutely peak, without a doubt in my fucking mind. Alright, X and Y. I did not hate these games. I really did enjoy them, but still, even then, there was just not too much to do. There's really nothing. Just a bunch of it was just too easy, honestly, because I'm one to play video games for difficulty. I love being challenged. And X and Y bringing in, like, they gave you two starters to start, which is insane as it is. Greninja is just an insane Pokemon, and then you can choose Charizard or Venusaur and just steamroll the game. They gave you a Mega Lucario super early on, and I'm pretty sure you can also Mega Evolve the second starter you get, the Kanto starter, super early. Basically, the game is just a non-challenge under any circumstances, and it's sad, but it's still, I think they're good games. I don't think really they're bad. The Elite Four is kind of just meh. Diancie isn't that super easy, but even then, she's still probably, besides a certain champion, which isn't in this because I haven't seen enough of Scarlet and Violet, so I'm not rating that one. They're just probably the second worst champion of all time. She's not a bad champion. The only Gita is like a bad champion, but Diancie is just probably the weakest. Alright, and Omega Sapphire and Omega Ruby, just absolutely just, I love them. I think that they perfectly do the difficulty right with the new games, with Mega Evolution. It actually feels like shit is a challenge. Mega Latios, like, and riding him around the region, super fun. I don't know why something like that hasn't returned in any of the newer games. It's been deadass. What's it been? Almost 10 years? 8 years since it? That's crazy to me. Wow. I can't believe that. Wild. Alright, and this is going to be hot take again. I genuinely really enjoyed Gen 7. I thought the games were pretty damn good, in my opinion. prefer them heavily to the... Obviously, Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun are much superior to Moon and Sun, or Sun and Moon. Fun fact, I mean, it was kind of obvious, but I was super excited about these games because back when I played, like, Gen 5 back in 2011, 2012, I predicted that one day we would have Pokemon games named Sun and Moon because I was a kid and I thought I was super fucking smart for thinking, oh, wait, opposites? Sun and Moon! And then it happened, and then I was like 16, 17, and I still, for some reason, thought I was like a genius and a mastermind for predicting it, even though it was the most absurdly obvious thing that ever could have been assumed, ever. Alright, let's go Eevee and let's go Pikachu. Pretty solid games. Honestly, I have not seen too much gameplay of them, but the riding around, the fact that they basically made Gen 1. There was no abilities, there's no held items. It just it was a very interesting game. Unfortunately, I would have loved to play these games, but these were the first games that came out on Switch, and I don't have a Switch. So unfortunately, that's where it's at. So I never played them, but I've seen footage of them and it looked fun. The whole Pokemon Go mixed in with like throwing a Pokeball, that was really cool. I liked looking at that. That was always interesting. But other than that, they're just solid games all around. Alright, I don't personally think that these games are like awful. They just could have been so much better, and they're just wasted potential almost. They're not awful, but you could have done, there's so much more that could have been done. I know I've said that already, but there's just so much more. Zacian being the most insanely OP thing that there ever was, is besides Mewtwo and Gen 1, is crazy. I don't know what they were doing by that. They also, when they nerfed them in the next gen, thought they were gonna nerf Zamazenta too, and it's like, what the fuck, Zamazenta already sucked. So there was just really just no point for that. That, and they just had a dex cut and the DLC of it was just insane. What was it? Like the end product was $120. That's a bit too much there, Bucko. That's a bit too much for basically what's less content than most of these other end games. Alright, the remakes. The fact that they weren't just straight up remakes of... These are worse than Platinum. There is no reason for you to get these games. Sure, they're faster and look nicer. Well, the chibis look kind of ugly. They're 3D, they look nicer. They're difficult, they're challenging. Cynthia having, like, competitively viable Pokemon is absolutely insane and would honestly be the only, like, pro I see in these games. They fixed the problems that they had with, like, these games where the HP bar was super slow. They fixed a bit of the issues, but just, they should have just made it just one game and then just added everything from Platinum. There's literally no reason for these games to exist. Just go play Platinum, and that's the only reason why they're an F tier, is because they are objectively just worse than Platinum. If they were like Platinum, they would easily be in like an S or S plus tier. But they're not. They're just a worse version of Platinum. And then this is just a trendsetter, and probably one I'd put it right there, honestly. Legends Arceus, and I just want to see Legends Kyurem from it. Everything about the game, the story, the way that things are is just insane. Hisui Pokemon are awesome. Love it. Also, talking about that, I loved that Gen 6 brought Mega Evolution. Z Crystals in Gen 7 were lackluster. Dynamaxing was also awful in this generation. Gen 8, I'm fucking tired of shit right now. And then Terastallizing, but I don't have... If I would have to put Sword and Shield, I'd put them in... Not Sword and Shield. Scarlet Violet, I'd put them in A, because they're buggy messes. And I think they're also wasted potential in some regards, but they still terrestrialization puts them very high. So yeah, guys, that's where this is going to end. I wish my friends were here, but unfortunately they have lives, and now I'm gonna go do mine. See you around. Bye-bye.